Hey guys, my name is Sam. This is Bolt from the Blue Tarot, and I am so excited that you are here. I'm overjoyed. I'm over the moon. And the reason is I have a one card pull for you from a deck that I wrote. And these are spiritual lessons from stories, movies, TV, books, my personal life that may be of benefit to you, either in the next 24 to 48 hours, or this might just be a spiritual lesson that you can keep in your back pocket, a different way of thinking of things, and you can hold on to it for whenever you need it. Cool. Let's get into it. See what wants to come out for you today. This is definitely the one. Odysseus, strapped to the mast, beeswax in his crew's ears. Sirens. This is about sirens. I hear readers talking about siren energy as something that the person whom they are reading for holds in like a positive or magical way. The sirens here can be positive, but this is in the context of the Odyssey. So let's get into it. So this card comes out to ask, what in your life currently has you under a spell? And how can you take back your freedom from it? So if I remember from the Odyssey correctly, the sirens are sort of on this island, this rocky outcropping in the middle of a strait that Odysseus and his crew must pass through on their ship. Odysseus is a general. He's a strategy expert. He knows the effect that the sirens have on men in particular. And his crew, he's rolling with the boys. His crew are all men. He knows that they will throw themselves overboard and dash the ship upon the rocks if they hear the sirens call. So he has them put beeswax into their ears to stopper them up so they cannot hear the call of the sirens, and they can continue rowing, because it's that kind of ship, past the sirens. However, he's an explorer. You could call him a little bit like, no, we won't for this video, but his shadow wants to know what the sirens sound like. So rather than putting beeswax into his ears, he wants to experience being driven mad by the siren's song, but in a way that won't endanger his crew or his journey. So he has them strap him to the mast of the ship with no beeswax in his ears so that he can hear the sirens call. And his crew can't hear him begging them to untie him or hear his ludicrous rantings. He recognizes that he has no control in the face of this thing, that this thing has control over him, right? And that's the first step if you're a clever general, a strategist. And you are, whether you think of yourself that way or not. Odysseus is just an archetype that we all contain. You're clever, and it won't take you long to discern what in your life has you under a spell and to put in place measures that rob it of its power. it's tempting to think of this one in terms of an addiction. So we could use that as an example. Addictions are tricky because it's not just a mental thing, it's a bodily thing. And depending on what the substance is, you can be dependent upon it to the degree that were you to stop it cold turkey, you would have very severe or even dangerous health effects occur, right? Because your body is so used to this chemical that it's dependent on. So with the Odysseus energy, it's about being clever, about being a strategist when it comes to this. So you don't stop something that has power over you in this way cold turkey, because that will only remind you of its power over you. It will force you back to it, right? But if you wean yourself off of it, if you take, say, half of what you normally take the next day, and then half of that the day after that, half of that the day after that, half of that the day after that, until you're down to barely any of it. And as you do that, you replace it with something similar. Not necessarily another drug, but something that fills the place in terms of ritual that would have taken. So if you're quitting coffee, right? Like, have the amount of coffee you drink and do that for a few days and then have it again, or switch to half calf. There's also, you might be like, Sam, to decaffeinate most beverages, they have to chemically treat it. I don't want to ingest those chemicals. And it's like, hey, look, when you're breaking the power that something detrimental has over you, it's okay. Like, if you're quitting alcohol and instead you drink soda for a time because it's bubbly like beer and it like gives you a short high, like it gives you some sort of chemical rush, that's okay. All right. If you need permission from someone, here's permission, because it's not like you're going to drink soda forever, right? This is a stopgap measure, and it is in the long run better for you, right? To drink soda in the short term than it is to continue to drink alcohol in the long term. Do you know what I mean? Once you've recognized that this is the thing that has power over you, that has you under a spell. If you're quitting coffee or beer or something like that, something that is similar, something that is in a mug that's warm in your hand at a similar time of day, something that tastes like coffee but isn't it, or something that is cold and bubbly that feels like a beer in your hand at the time of the day when you would normally drink a beer but isn't one, right? This is a good strategy. Being a military strategist, a lot is about trickery, right? About deception, about lulling into a sense of security. And you can do this with your own body, and it's not nefarious. It's for your highest and best good over time, right? I don't know, we're going real deep on this, but I think it is helpful to someone. As an analogy, right? Take this and apply it where you can use it in your life. If you're like, Sam, I have no idea what this is about. Keep an eye out the next 24 to 48 hours and see what has more power over you than you would like. And how can you start to change your relationship with it? That's really what this is about. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you have just a tremendous next 24 to 48 hours. And yeah, if you're new here, check out some of the longer videos. There might be something there for you. All right. Take it easy. Bye, guys.